Hey there again, this is Josh Penner with Core Values Consulting. I'm the creator and director of business development at Core Values Consulting, and we do web design, SEO, and social media marketing. In our last video, we covered some simple tricks or tips that you could use for writing a blog article, and we showed you the formula that you can use for really writing any article that you wanted. We condensed it down to 5 paragraphs for you and wrote a 500-word article live for you as we recorded the video, and you can use that same formula for writing your own blog posts. But if you write a blog post, you need to know how to actually post the blog post too, or any other article that you write. And so we're going to take you through the steps right now of adding a blog post to your blog using WordPress if you have a website built on WordPress. And for instance, here's our blog right here. And you can see that we've got several posts, and all of these posts go through the same process. So we're going to take you through the process of posting on WordPress using the article that we wrote live on YouTube the other day. And if you want to know where that article is, you can look at our YouTube history and look at how you can write there. So I'm going to maximize this screen, and we're going to start going through this step by step how to post your article. If you recall, the name of the article was 3 Simple Tips for Writing a Blog Article. It's 5 paragraphs. We go through the message, the 5-paragraph format, the making your article readable and understandable, focusing on formatting, and then ending it with a call to action or a conclusion. So we left these spacers here for media that we intended to put in a little bit later. And in the meantime, I've collected some of the media or created the visuals that I want the final blog article to look like. What I found to be most helpful is that you prepare as much as you can beforehand for what you want the article to look like, so that way once you actually start putting it into WordPress, it's just a matter of fine-tuning at that point. So that assumes that you've done some proofreading, it reads well, and you have collected the pictures that you want for it, the media, and you know the URLs, and you know where everything is. So that way it's just really quick. Once you start putting information into WordPress, you want to make sure that you don't have to continue hitting preview, refresh, refresh, refresh. One, if you're tracking your analytics, you can skew your numbers, and 2, it just makes it a lot slower because you have to wait on the server to refresh the page, assume that the page isn't cached and that you're not viewing an older version of the page. And so what I have here is I have the pictures for the post that I want to add, and I have the post itself. So all posts, they should have a picture that you're going to utilize anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the, well, hang on a second. Let me see. There we go. I'm going to use the photo for the video of how to write your article. And this will be the picture that you see up here. That will be this picture right here. And I'll show you how to add that in a moment. I'm just adding pictures so that way it's easy to see what the final blog article is going to look like. In the last article, we knew that we wanted to put a visual here with 5-paragraph formats. And so I have a picture. We'll drop that right there. Pardon me, this is using Pages, not Word, but it's very similar in how things work here, and I know that I want this to give me a moment. We're gonna drop this in to the appropriate place. All right, we'll delete the placeholder there, and we're gonna make this smaller. And we know that we want that roughly when we add it into our blog article right there. We're going to add make your article readable and understandable. We created 2 simple pictures as far as readable and understandable. And drop that in here. Change this to inline with text. And why don't we do this one while we're at it? And these are very simple. I'll show you in another video how you can utilize PowerPoint or Keynote to make super simple visuals. You don't need any fancy software, and they can get you 90% of where you need to go without worrying about knowing how to Photoshop or anything along those lines. All right, and this photo, we'll make smaller. Now we're just trying to get a buckshot approach to this. So make your article readable and understandable. We knew we wanted a media or graphic right there. So not easy to understand. We'll drop that right there, and much easier, we'll drop it below it. and we'll come up with some kind of a caption for those once we actually post it online. So we'll clean this up just a smidge, and this is a little OCD kicking in. So you'll see the different pictures, and those will be the same size when you post them online. Right? We're just getting to how we want everything to look. All right. Focus on formatting and keep working at it. And I've got a video that I want to drop in there as well, but we'll show you how to do that in a moment. So here we go. This is what the article is more or less going to look like. As you read through it, you're going to have the big picture on top. Right here, you're going to have a title. You're going to have your text. You're going to have your paragraphs with your titles to your paragraphs, and you're going to have your call to action. And there'll be a video stuck in here, and you'll be ready to go. So this is what we want it to look like, and we need to make this look right on WordPress. And so what I've done is I've already started a new post. When you go to your WordPress backend, you want to go to Posts, Add New, and that's going to start the post for you. And we already know what we want the blog post to be called, so we'll go here and we'll copy that. A blog post is called 3 Simple Tips for Writing a Blog Article. Right? We already know that we have all of the stuff we want it to look like right here. Copy it, come over here, paste it, and we know that these photos are we're gonna put those photos in later. So we're gonna delete those for now. Those are just placeholders, and make sure we have enough white space. All right, so now you have everything inserted in your document. You want to make sure that you use the right paragraph formats for however you have your blog created. And so if you look at some of our other blogs, you can see how our blogs are written. Give it a moment. You'd see there's usually an intro, some media, then we've got our paragraphs, 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 and call to action. Right, so let's go back over here. This is how we do it. This is your basic paragraph format. Now these are the individual sections, and you want to be able to label that. So we usually on our blog we name them paragraph 2. So stand by while I update all these for you. Right. Okay, so there's our article. You can see it's 435 words, not too much, not too little. And now we want to add the media. Right now, if you take a look at what this looks like, this is what the basic blog article is going to look like. Right? So it's got the basics. It's easy to read, and it's got all the extra accoutrements that come up with the website as we do it. And you can see, look, there's our article from our Facebook page. So come back over here, and we want it to look like this, more or less. Right? So the first thing is we want to start adding photos. The best way to add photos is we're going to go over here to media. We want to make sure that they're uploaded onto our own server. So that way when we reference photos, we're pulling them from our database. We're going to add some new photos. Right? So let's select our photos. I have them saved to the desktop, and they are in Pictures for Post. And here we go. We're going to grab these 3, and that one is actually a Keynote file, so I'll grab the photo from somewhere else. So there's those 3, and they're uploading right here. Now let me grab the other photo from the desktop. That's our title photo. Right. So while we're doing that, we want to make sure that we fill out the information here. So basic 5 paragraph format, right? Well, that's what we'll call it. Copy that, drop it in here, and drop it in here. Okay, there's that. It automatically saves. Now we're going to do spaced text is easier to read. All right, and bear with me. Walls of text are a big no. And we're still not going to go into the keywords too much here, because the point is to help you in writing your article, not necessarily in optimizing it. And we'll cover that in later videos. But for writing your article, getting it posted online, these are kind of the basics that you need to know. And we'll we'll share with you how to optimize it for search later on. So there we go. Now we have all of them saved. And you'll notice when we go in here that they all have unique URLs. We're actually going to want to know that soon. But the first thing we want to do, now that we have all of our photos saved in our media, so we want to come over here, and back over here, and we're going to set our initial featured image. All right, and that is this one, because we want our featured image to be this right here. Okay, we set our featured image. And there you go. You see there's your featured image. And remember, this is what the web page, that's not it. Why don't we close that out? Here's what the blog article looks like right now without a featured image. And I'll show you what it looks like with a featured image. Now that we've added the featured image, here's our blog article. 3 simple tips for writing a great blog article. Get the featured image, it's at the top, it's posted, and when we go to blog, once we publish it, you'll be able to see this photo right here. Got your introduction paragraph or your hook, then you got your 3 tips, and then you got the call to action. And I like a lot of white space in my article. So now, if you recall, we've got that out of the way. Now we wanted to add this in our tip 1, 5-paragraph message format. And so we know we want it right there. Now there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can go right here and you can hit add media, right? And you can grab the photo that you want, and I'll just show you. I'll insert it to the post, and I'll show you the other way that I like to do it rather than that, right? And you go to add media, say where you want it on the post. You can edit the size, left, center, right, also different sizes. For instance, if you wanted it medium and you wanted a caption on there. Here's your caption with the photo, right? There's your photo. There's your caption. But we use something called Facebook Instant Articles, and that requires making sure these are all ready for HTML5. And so what I've done is I've created, let's undo that. I created kind of a shortcut list to help me in understanding, or help me in being ready to do this. So if you look over here, you want to insert these using these snippets of code here. This is YouTube, this is an image with caption, and this is an image without caption. And these images more or less caption themselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the URL of the image and I'm going to post it in right here, and that's going to bring up the image as well. So first thing we want to do is go back to the media library. Here's our first image. We're going to grab this URL right here. I'm going to take that over here, and I'm going to drop it in right here. Okay, now I'm going to copy this snippet right here. I'm going to come back over here, and right here is where I want it to go, underneath tip, 5-paragraph message format, and above tip 2. So go over to the text editor, and it is right here that we want to put it. You can see you got the blank space, and you've got the tip 2, tip 1. We want it right here, and I want a little bit of, well, if you look at it like this, right, you'll see there's no blank space after it, and I'll show you what that ends up looking like here in a moment. So go back over here to visual, right? Now we've got a big size to it, and we can, it popped in automatically. It just popped in a different way. Now, right, there's a link. We can have it linked to something. We could change where it's at. The thing about this is that it's the way it's set is it's going to change size depending on the screen that you look at now. So big screens, it'll appear bigger. Smaller screens, it'll appear smaller. And here's our tip. But remember, there's a blank space that I was talking about. So come over here to preview. Take a look what it looks like. And it's a little bit bigger than we wanted. So we'll work on that here soon. So that's one way you can insert it for HTML5. Now, let's just insert it like this for right now, because I don't want to get too complicated. So we got the basic 5-paragraph format, and we're going to drop it down to medium size and update. Here we go. So tip 2 was not easy to read and easy to read, so we'll insert those photos right here. we'll change the size to medium and update. And we'll do the other one. Much easier. No. Insert as a medium, alignment center. Okay. And now we want to insert a video as well right there. And I have the video for the last article. The video is right here. And we just take the copy link, drop it over here in the YouTube class. And all right, now we're going to grab that and drop it down in here. Go to text and drop it in right here. And all right, so now we're going to be 95% of what we want the article to look like. See, we've already planned it out ahead of time, so actually posting the article goes real quick. It's just a matter of adding a few things that you want and making it show up the way you want it. So that way there's going to be some spacing issues and stuff that we can play with. All right, there we go. All right, 5 paragraphs, paragraph, easy to read, not easy to read, much easier. Focus on formatting. The video will go right there here soon, and keep working at it. So, and then comments powered by, and then everything else we have at the bottom in our pop-up. So let's go back over here to, looks like everything's good. Now let's add, we want this in a block building category. Blog building category, you add the categories that you want. So blog building, and then add some tags. So a good rule of thumb is try to go with just one category for your article and add the tags to kind of separate it. The tags will create like little side pages, and those will be things that people will see when they, when your blog pops up, for instance, it'll probably pop up underneath a tag that you've written. So you can optimize those. So here is your article. Here's what it looks like. And that'll, let me double make sure that my, yep, that's there. Okay, if that doesn't work, we can play with that in a bit. Now, I use Yoast SEO just to help me plan out the article. You can see it gives me readability. 50% of the sentences contain more than 20 words, so maybe we were a little long-winded. If you have sentences that are long, remember everything that you add commas to, you can almost always turn that into, if you take a sentence that has 1 comma, you can usually make that into 2 sentences, shorten your sentences down. It makes it easier to read. And then it gives you suggestions on prominent words, on different ways to improve the readability for anybody. So if you look at a simple Google search, so Google talking to dogs, for instance. All right, now you'll see some of them, some of the things that pop up, they have these 3 dots, that's called an ellipse. And you know, you're just highlighting different things, right? You can see that this one right here is just Google's just grabbing text from the website, whereas some of the other ones, it's, you know, it grabs specific phrases that that the owners have wanted you to take a look at, the owners of the website. And so, you know, all of these things, they're part of the search engine optimization stuff that we'll talk about in the future. But here's what you can do for everything is you can utilize Yoast SEO to set yourself up for success. So we want to grab kind of a thesis from the article. Right, there's something that all bloggers can do about these challenges. They can use the following 3 simple tips for writing a blog article. This is a great snippet that we can wordsmith a little bit and just make it a little bit more compelling. Why would you click on this if you were a reader and this came across? So we think about all all blog writers can use these tips. Right? These 3 simple tips for writing a blog article. This article covers the basic format of successful blog writing. And you could see that I used several different words that kind of all focus around the same thing, right? We've got our prominent words, writing a blog post, blog, 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 blog. So we'll just keep it a simple keyword here, blog. And that's going to show up plenty in here, probably too much. So let's see, blog writing. Though I don't know if anyone actually searches for the phrase blog writing. So we'll just say blog for now. And Yoast SEO is great. It gives you little bubbles here that you can take a look at. So we have our categories, we have our tags, we have our featured images, we have our media, we have our other images, we have our paragraph formats formatted correctly. We're ready to go. We take one more preview of the blog post. That's not the preview of the blog post. That's the preview of the blog post. All right, there's our preview of our blog post, and YouTube will probably populate here in a moment. Otherwise, I'll have to do some fixing on it. Right, we're ready to hit publish. And we wait for it to update. All right, so we waited for it to publish. Now, if we go to blog, assuming everything worked out correctly, we're off of preview. We've got our simple tricks for writing a blog article. We probably want to adjust that picture a little bit to center it up so that way anyone seeing the preview will be able to see the preview correctly. Looks like we've got a little spacing issue here on the first paragraph, but we've got 3 simple tips for writing a blog article. And we can go in here, take a look and see how it turned out. And there you go. 3 simple tips for writing a blog article. And you can see it in our popular articles, our most recent articles, ready to share. Everything is good. So that is how you can write a blog article and how you can post it onto your WordPress website. We'll cover more about how you can search engine optimize it in the future and what you can do to make sure that people are reading it and also interactive with the article. But there's your basic 5-paragraph article. Write that. You'll be able to see it on search in a couple days. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm almost sure that somebody else has a better way to do this, but this is a good enough way. And just remember, like we learned in the last YouTube video, good enough beats best every single time, especially when you're talking about doing as many as you can for the purpose of getting your information out there. So never go with the spun article where somebody else is just putting it into an algorithm and it's just junk writing. Try to write good, but try to understand that your time is valuable. And yeah, anyways. If you've got questions, leave them in the comments. If you've got comments or better ways to do it, leave it in the comments, and we'd love to highlight your tips, tricks, and tools for writing blog articles. In the meantime, if you have website design, SEO, social media marketing needs, or if you need somebody to write articles for you, please be sure to reach out to us at Core Values Consulting. That's info@corevaluesconsulting.com, and you can also contact us 253-987-6655. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and we'll catch you in the future with other tips, tools, and tricks you can use for developing your website and your brand.